They almost admit it. They almost admit that The Last Jedi was a massive screw-up that damaged Star Wars. And here's what J.J. Abrams said, which is incredible. J.J. Abrams on Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Episode 8 didn't really derail anything. Whoa. Wait. It didn't really derail anything? First of all, why does that sentence need to exist? Why was there a question asked in the first place? And secondly, what does it didn't really derail anything mean? It means it did. if he wouldn't say it didn't really, which is like saying it kinda did, right? The Last Jedi was so bad, I am totally off Star Wars. Everything about the next series and getting rid of the extended universe, I'm just done with it. So I made a video recently about Dark Rey, and I hate rehashing some of these things from older videos, but I want to make sure there's context. There was a new like trailer for The Rise of Skywalker. It shows Rey in like a dark cloak with like a double red saber. Marketing. It's fake news. I think it's a big trick. Here's the thing though. Rian Johnson took over and then apparently didn't use any of the notes for the actual series. And you can even hear it in the movie. When Kylo Ren says, "Let the past die," it's like, I know what you're doing, dude. You are sabotaging Star Wars. Change my mind. Rian Johnson threw away the notes, had Kylo Ren express it over and over again that he's trying to destroy the past. It was on purpose. Change my mind. You're not going to be able to. You won't. And I'm not going to go see any more of these movies. But let's read this. And I want to get into the meat and potatoes here about how, look, I just want to stress. There are a lot of people who claim The Last Jedi was like an SJW movie. I don't care to talk about that. That's silly. I don't care if there's a Holdo with purple hair. That's not the issue. And they do play up some tropes. It's whatever. The problem is the story was trash. It was trash. It was painful. It was like a 2-year-old playing with toys. Now I'm gonna save you, Finn. Ooh, I crashed into you, Waz. And then you wrote it down. So let's read this story about how it didn't really derail anything, but it kind of did. Before we do, however, in the description, I have a new channel. We are ramping it up. I'm gonna be on the ground in the van, field reporting. Subscribe to this channel if you want behind the scenes, small town conversations, videos of me eating apple pie with little old grandma in the middle of the United States, in like, Nebraska or something, and just asking her, how are things going for you? How do you feel about politics? Let's bring things back to the people and get away from the national stage. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Subscribe to this channel. There'll be a lot of silliness, probably drone flying and like hang gliding and skydiving. I don't know. It's going to be travel vlog first and foremost, but you know me, I'm all about politics, so that'll be a big aspect of it. Let's get back to the Star Wars, though, because some of you probably are only watching this for Star Wars and you have no idea what I'm talking about. But hey, subscribe to that channel anyway if you like vlogs. From Bounding Into Comics, they write, J.J. Abrams appeared at Disney's D23 Expo to promote the upcoming Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker film, where he revealed that Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi didn't really derail anything. I love that. Abrams spoke to Entertainment Tonight Canada, where he discussed The Rise of Skywalker. He stated, "The story that we're telling, the story that we started to conceive when we did The Force Awakens, was allowed to continue. Episode 8 didn't really derail anything that we were thinking about." Oh, it didn't really? It kind of did. Is that what you're saying? Abrams would go on to discuss the fun of The Rise of Skywalker, which I will not go see, by the way. I'm gonna wait until the reviews come in from trusted sources before going anywhere near that film. You know what, man? I kind of feel like everything they've done with the new series is just so dumb. Why is there a resistance? The Empire fell. The resistance is back, and they build a bigger Death Star. Okay, dude. They say, he goes on to address The Rise of Skywalker, saying, "But I will say the fun of this movie is that these characters are all together on this adventure as a group. That's the thing I was most excited about. To see the dynamic between these characters that these amazing actors play on this desperate seat of your pants adventure. That to me was the thing that was most fun, having the group together." Abrams had previously told Vanity Fair that he was taking a much different approach to The Rise of Skywalker than he did with The Force Awakens. Why? Because The Force Awakens was a shot-for-shot remake of A New Hope. Working on 9, I found myself approaching it slightly differently, which is to say that on 7, I felt beholden to Star Wars in a way that was interesting. I was doing what the best of my ability I felt Star Wars should be, doing to the best of my ability. He then detailed his approach for The Rise of Skywalker. It felt slightly more renegade. It felt slightly more like, F it, I'm going to do the thing that feels right because it does, not because it adheres to something. There it is. You know what they're saying? They're saying The Last Jedi was trash. We know it was trash, and we're gonna do it again. That's why I'm not gonna go see this movie. They didn't stick to Star Wars canon. Nothing made sense. The story was trash. Plasma bolts arcing in space. Seriously, a plot point for The Last Jedi was, I secretly told the First Order to look out the window. I'm not exaggerating. The guy was like, look, and he points out the window and they see the escape pods. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, that was just trash. And what is J.J. Abrams saying right now? You know what? F it. I'm gonna do what feels right, not because it adheres to something. So what you're saying is, you're not gonna make content for fans. You're not gonna stick to the lore. You are not advancing the story of Star Wars. You're screwing around with some fun project you wanna do. Listen, I used to like Star Wars a lot. It's cool to have the sci-fi fantasy adventure. Lightsabers are a cool idea. The Force is a cool idea. And you have to earn your power. You know what I want? I want the story to progress. They're not doing that. They're retconning everything. They purged the extended universe. And that's what I've been, you know what really bothered me about Star Trek? After, Deep Space Nine, what do? They do prequel. I don't care. I don't care about Discovery or Enterprise, okay? Enterprise is okay. I didn't watch a lot of it. Discovery I have no interest in because I don't care about your universe-breaking retcon prequels. That's what they're doing with Star Wars now. Not a prequel, but they kind of did do that. I hate prequels. I want to know what happens to everybody. And here's what they did. Luke Skywalker, as Mark Hamill said, one of the most optimistic guys in the universe, in the galaxy at least. He works hard, he becomes a Jedi, he becomes powerful. What did he accomplish later on? This is a guy, for many people, was something to strive to be, a hero, a regular old farm boy, thrust into adventure, aided by magic, and eventually became a great Jedi. Where is he today? What great things has he accomplished? Oh, a midlife crisis followed by his own death. Great. That's what I was hoping for, right? How many people, and you guys could probably answer this because it probably resonates with you a little bit. How many people grew up looking at Luke Skywalker being like, I want to be a Jedi, I want to be a hero, only to find out the dude was a loser, a complete loser drinking weird giant monster titty milk on some island because he gave up and he was just a middle-aged loser. And Rian Johnson's thing is like, well, that's the way it is. Some stories, let go of the past, defy expectations. Oh, come on, dude. I don't go to the movies to get a glimpse of reality. I don't go to the movies to hear a story about how people grow up to be failures. How that dude you knew in high school was so cool, well, now he sells shoes. No, I go to movies to see that dude who struggled and defied all the odds, and 30 years later, he has his own temple, his own domain, and he's helped make the world a better place. Because I want to believe that I can do the same thing, that I can grow up from humble means and become a master at a temple and reinvigorate the Lost Order. Instead, what do we get? He abandoned his post, went to go live on an island drinking titty milk, and then he dies. Congratulations, you've destroyed a childhood icon. The Last Jedi. Boy, do I hate that movie. And that's why I'm doing a Star Wars video right now. I hate it so much. I love talking about how much I hate it. Here we go, I'll read a little bit more. Of note, Abrams was not supposed to direct The Rise of Skywalker. He came on board the project back in September 2017 after Lucasfilm parted ways with Colin Trevorrow, who was originally supposed to direct Episode 9. Abrams' comments are even more interesting given that Rian Johnson and Daisy Ridley have stated concern in the creative process on the new, given what they stated on the creative process. The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson previously described Abrams' role in The Last Jedi, saying, he was really gracious in just stepping back and giving us a blank slate to work with. What do you mean? The blank slate? Star Wars has been around for decades. The starting point was the Force Awakens script, which is quite a big, expansive, wonderful starting point. In that way, we are drawing directly from his work, but from that point forward, it was a blank canvas. They say Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, revealed her take on the continuity between films in a French interview. Here's what I think I know. JJ wrote Episode 7, as well as drafts for 8 and 9. Then Rian Johnson arrived and wrote The Last Jedi entirely. I believe there was some sort of general consensus on the main lines of the trilogy, but apart from that, every director writes and realizes his film in his own way. Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams met to discuss all of this. Although Episode 8 is still his very own work, I believe Rian didn't keep anything from the first draft of 8. So none of it made sense. What an awful movie. I have not seen it a second time. I wanted to walk out of that theater. They say one has to imagine that Abrams believed he was done with Star Wars following The Force Awakens. He reportedly gave Johnson a blank slate to work with, and Trevorrow was supposed to pick up, Trevorrow was supposed to pick up the pieces following The Last Jedi. Now Abrams is claiming he's continuing the story he had outlined since The Force Awakens. It's kind of hard to believe, especially if Johnson threw out the first draft of Episode 8 and didn't use Abrams' notes. It's possible Abrams might ignore Johnson's The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, similar to how he ignored pretty much all of Star Wars canon in The Last Jedi. Yep. Oh yeah, I guess, it's also possible Abrams might be trying to pay lip service to the idea that Lucasfilm and Disney had a plan altogether, despite all the statements to the contrary. What do you make of Abrams, blah, blah, blah? Okay, I'm going to keep this one short. What did I hear? For one, Rian Johnson screwed everything up. Then he says, I'm just going to do it my way. Yeah, he's saying Star Wars is dead. Okay, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all next time, and I won't be seeing this movie. We'll see what happens with the reviews, but I really doubt I'm going to see this movie. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Next podcast every day at 6:30 p.m. Thanks for hanging out.